Okay, update time, because I have went down a complete and total rabbit hole trying to get processing set up. So it all started with one simple item, a very, very simple item. I wanted to get the netherite furnaces so that I could start processing my ores that I'm getting from sieving. And the netherite furnace itself doesn't seem like too hard of a recipe. We have soul sand, we have netherite, we have magma cream, but then we have the obsidian furnace in the middle. And this is what causes all of the problems because it needs blaze rods. And you would think that that is pretty simple, right? You would think blaze rods, just go to the nether and kill some blaze. Well, that's fine and dandy, except that blaze rods like to give you the jig, or blazes like to give you the jig. They absolutely destroy me in this pack, because there's just so many of them and they can team up against me, and it's just not a fun time. So I want a way that I can automate getting blaze rods. So we need a blaze farm. How am I going to get a blaze farm? Well, there's a couple of ways, but the way that I chose was I was going to set up a spawner. So we actually have a spawner mod in this pack, which is called Apotheosis, and it allows us to silk touch spawners. Once again, I don't have silk touch, so I can't silk touch a spawner. My only silk touch is on an axe here. So I decided, let's see if we can try and pull silk touch off of this axe back onto a book so that I can, you know, maybe put my silk touch enchant on my diamond pickaxe. So that was the beginning of a very long journey, because the enchantment, this guy, the enchantment extractor, this is what I was going to make. There's a couple of problems with this. First off, we needed to go into industrial foregoing and get plastic, which I now have set up. Well, I have it set up kind of, partially. It's kind of just rigged over here, but essentially what we have is a wood block normally sits in front of this. This extracts out latex, and then latex is put into the latex processing unit, and you get little orb balls, little dry rubber balls, and then you can take those, smelt them up, and you get some plastic, like we needed here. Right? This guy. Like we need it here. However, that is not the end of our troubles, because we also need an advanced machine frame, which needs the dissolution chamber. So we had to make this guy, and I have it made. And then you can see, oh, this is a pretty difficult recipe. And then we have this recipe that we also need, which is also a little difficult. Well, I ended up making one of these simple machine frames. I ended up making, just needed some latex, and then these pity machines, plastic. It just took a lot of time. But then I got stuck. Then I got stuck completely on this pink slime. Do you know how hard it is to get pink slime in this pack? Let me tell you, there's only one way to get it, and that is with this guy, the Mob Slaughter Factory. And this outputs millibuckets of pink slime every time you kill a mob. So I have it set up over here where our slimes have been spawning, and I've gotten 449 millibuckets in 5 hours. So yeah, this isn't productive. This isn't productive at all. By the way, I was AFK doing something else. I didn't just sit here and stare at this for 5 hours. I'm not that big of a loser, guys. Okay, so that sucks. How am I going to get silk touch? Because all of that was just a sidetracked mess. I have a plan. I have a plan for silk touch. So if we go ahead and look up silk touch here, we have this pickaxe, the Slimech pickaxe. I could either do this or I could go into Tinker's Construct. I don't want to go into Tinker's Construct just for silk touch, so I'm going to go with this Slimech pickaxe instead. And it gets us into a new mod, Forbidden Arcanus, which sounds pretty cool. I've never played with it before, but it sounds pretty awesome. And the recipe isn't too terrible. So we have a slime ball, which we can pretty easily get. We have Edelwood, which actually is really, really easy to get, because what you can do is come right over here to this guy and buy Edelwood, and then you can grow one of these saplings, and on the sapling, on like the actual log itself, these sticks are just kind of poking out, and you can break them, and bada bing, bada boom, you got those Edelwood sticks. So then we need these ingots, which seems pretty difficult, except that the arcane crystal dust we actually are already getting. We have that from this right here. This, where we are sieving out, I believe this is sand. We get some of the crystal, and then that we can just, I believe we smelt it down. Yeah, we smelt it down into the powder. So that's pretty easy in our netherite furnace. Not too hard to do. This is what's sticking us. This right here. And the reason that it's sticking us is the phantom membrane. I don't have any phantom membrane. So I have been up for like the last 5 hours in this world. And I haven't slept. So next time that night comes around, we should have a bunch of phantoms. I want you to stay in this pen, buddy, so that I can get more pink slime. So if you could do that, that would be just fantastic. Please. Please, just... Aha! He got 8! Did we increase there at all? I don't think we increased there at all. Oh, these guys are terrible. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for phantoms to spawn, and I probably also am going to have an issue with gunpowder. However, are we sieving gunpowder? We are. We're sieving gunpowder. Okay, so we're good. I think phantom membrane is the only thing that we are missing. And to ensure that I get some phantom membrane, I am actually going to use this sword here. I bought this off of a wandering trader a while back, and it has capturing 3, which makes mobs have a chance to drop their spawn egg, which is really, really cool, but also it has looting 4 on it. So this is a very good sword, and I want to use this for the extra membranes, and if we get a spawn egg, hey, that's cool too. All right, go down, son. I'm ready for phantoms. Alrighty, so now I can just finish up this craft, and the slime mech pickaxe is ours. Awesome. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and put up the diamond pickaxe. Now, I am kind of curious as to how quick this thing is, so I'm just gonna pick up a piece of cobblestone here. Let's see. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's decent. Oh, and yes, I do know that we could have went with Tinker's Construct and got a slime enchantment there and gotten Silk Touch that way, but I mean, this is cool. This is cool. So now let's head into the nether, and let's see if we can't pick up that blaze spawner now that we have a pickaxe, because this should actually be much faster. Yes, beautiful. And now pick this guy up. That's 2 spawners. Can we find another one? 3 spawners would be absolutely awesome if we can find it. But I don't see a 3rd one here at this fortress. We would have to go find another one, I guess, because I don't see one. And there's some bosses that are spawning in. That's okay. All right. Yeah, I don't see any more spawners. Those are the 2 that we just grabbed. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's head back. Alrighty, so the next thing that I want to do is pick up a diamond wand as well as an angel wand core. And I think that this should be what we need to place blocks in mid-air. So it says combine the core with your wand in a crafting grid. I think I can just do it like this. And yes, this now has a construction core to it with the angel cord. So what this should allow us to do is place a block like in the middle of nowhere. So let's grab, let's just grab this here. Oh wait, we don't have to specify a block with this wand. I forgot. So how does this work then? Construction core, boom, matching some. Oh, is it one of these? Restriction none. Interesting. Okay, let me figure this out. Alrighty, so I figured out how to activate the angel core. It's actually pretty simple. So we're going to hold the left shift like we always do, but this time we're going to left click. So now we're on the construction core. Now we are the angel core, which is how we can place blocks in midair. However, if we don't have anything in our offhand, as you can see, we're not going to be able to place in midair. We have to have these blocks in our offhand, and then we can basically place a block wherever we want. So I am going to come out a little ways and make a little mob spawning area that's a little ways away from the island, just so that we're not constantly loading all of these mobs in and they're not going to be killing us all the time. So there we go. And now I can go ahead and change back to construction mode just like this. And I should be able to start building. Nice. So I'm going to make myself a nice little platform here for all of our mob spawning needs. And yeah, I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Okay, so I think for right now, I am going to stick with mob grinding utils for the way that I'm going to kill the blazes. I thought about going with the mob grinder, but the problem with that is I once again would have to get into, or not the mob grinder, the mob crusher rather. I would have to get into industrial foregoing again, and once again we're back at advanced machine frames, which take pink slime. So once again we would be stuck in that area, which I don't particularly want to deal with. So the mob masher is probably going to be our best bet. So this thing's actually pretty cheap. It's just some iron spikes, which is iron swords and iron block, and then redstone, iron swords, diamonds. It's a really simple recipe. Let's go ahead and make one of these, and I'm hoping that this thing has a pretty decent range to it. It does not tell me its range though. That's what I was actually looking for with the mob fan. The mob fan, this is its range, and I can kind of show and hide the area. It's actually super useful because of that, and I can see exactly what all upgrades I need. I've made 5 of these, but I'm probably going to need more, to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. Also, I think these things need power, so we're going to have to set up a flux point over there as well in order to power these guys. But I wanted to see what the distance was on the mob masher, but it doesn't seem like it's going to tell me. Interesting. Does it tell me here? No. Huh. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. And find out, indeed, I have. In fact, we're getting much more than just blaze rods, because I went ahead and I added in some of that cursed dirt to the inside of this. So this is basically a mob farm for everything. And the mob masher, I also figured out how to work. This thing actually does not have an area. You actually have to throw the mobs into the mob masher for it to work. So actually, I don't know why this guy... Okay, there we go. Now he's getting pushed. Anyway, these fans are, if we go ahead and hit show area, they're pushing every single direction toward that mob masher. So no matter where they're at, eventually these guys are going to get killed by that mob masher. So go ahead and hide these areas real quick. But this is our basic mob farm for right now. Very, very simple. We're getting anything that can spawn on that cursed dirt, and then also the 2 blaze spawners. So we're getting a fair amount of blaze rods here. We're up to 1.5 thousand plus, 1.5 thousand. Plus we have a bunch in my system already. I do need to filter out the junk out of here, like, leather boots we don't need to save. Probably don't need to save whatever these are, traveler's goggles. I probably don't particularly need this, but anyway. Yeah, some of this probably needs some filtering, but we can do that at another time. Right now, I just wanted to make sure that we had this all set up for our blaze rods, which we do. Perfect. This thing is working great. Oh, also, I was able to set up the singularity tanks from mob grinding utils, and this is actually liquid XP. So if we need that for any crafting recipes in the future, we can come over here and get it with a bucket, and that's nice and easy. I may add an applied energistic system over here eventually, but it is kind of a long cable away, so once we expand the base in this direction, then we'll probably add it. But we're actually way over time for today's episode. I'm going to have to cut footage out of this. I just know it already. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We didn't get to any processing today, but we did get a lot of stuff done. So in the next episode, we are going to work with applied energistics and try and get some more processing set up for a bunch of materials. We need our different blocks set up, such as sand and gravel and dust, and we don't actually have a setup for that. All of that is being sieved right now, and I don't have a setup that is meant for crafting. So we're gonna have to set up something for that. We're probably going to set up clay automation. We're gonna set up terracotta automation. We got a lot to set up, but first we need to get our applied energistics set up with some P2P tunnels. There we go. That's very hard to say. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.